Welcome to Potentials. This is Leja, and I have my very good friend Zoe from Galactic Voyager on the show with me today. And thanks for coming on. We're going to show this on your channel too, and check out her channel on YouTube. It's called Galactic Voyager. It's awesome, and so
Thank
she's got
you.
a lot of really great content on there. And today we're going to talk about what's been going on lately with all the drones that we're seeing. And I'm entitling this episode Clones and Drones
Mhm.
because this is kind of funny. Uh, about 8 years ago, I was going to start a band called Clones and Drones.
Oh, that just gave me the chills.
And
That's
that was eight
crazy.
years ago. And I just had this
Mm.
gut feeling that that was going to be something in the future. I don't know.
Mm. It was
So
like you were foreseeing something. You obviously your subconscious just it kind of bled through, didn't it? And it came through as an idea.
I have these little downloads like that
Mm.
as a
Mm.
creator, when I write music, when I write songs, and when I name bands, I come up with these bizarre
Mm.
things that people are like, what is that? And I'm like, I'm not sure, but I think it means something.
Yeah.
So that was one of the times. And so that's kind of like what's happening now. So I thought this is an interesting I find it a fascinating subject. I'm completely like sucked into this whole thing right now. So and I'm sure you're interested. I know you're interested. So what's your take on it? What are you thinking about the
Um,
drones and what they could
to
be?
be honest, you would think that I would be because it's right up my street.
Yeah.
Clearly, you'd
Yeah.
think I'd be like, oh wow. But you know what? I've known about this. I've had my own experiences, and I've known about this, for a long time. And I'm not. I was excited years ago, but now we're coming into these energies, these times where they're showing themselves both, man-made objects and our team upstairs. I'm just like, ugh, I'm not phased by it. I often scroll. I'm like, once you've seen one drone or UFO, you just scroll by. I guess it's because a part of me is just like, well, I remember I'm used to that, so I'm not actually phased really.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, I just want people to start connecting the dots and start waking up. That's what excites me. It's like, I'm intrigued to find out, who are believing, who's waking up, who's questioning things, who's, you know, just questioning the narrative and the movie, what's
Yes.
playing out. That's what I'm more interested about. That's when I'll start getting excited.
Yes.
It's like, yes,
Yes.
finally, our hard work is working, and it is, of course, but
It
yeah.
is. I'm seeing a lot of people actually questioning the narrative, which, well, let's talk about the narrative a little bit. I mean, I guess what some people are saying is that they believe, and the government is saying, we don't know what it is.
Mm,
Right. Yeah. So, uh, what they're saying, what they're trying to say it is these are just drones. We don't know what they are. Let's shoot them down. Um, and some of the to be honest, some of them don't look like they're ET. Some of them look like they are like maybe reverse engineered stuff or things that we've had for a long time that they're just bringing out to show people. And then there's others that are clearly not, you know, human.
mm, mm.
And those I would say are the ones that look more like orbs, like plasma orbs, and
Yeah.
they're kind of floating around and they're not going in any one direction. Like these other things that they're calling drones look like drones. Like they're
Mm,
literally flying. People don't know if they're some people think, oh, they're just planes because they look like planes, just weird shaped planes. But those ones I don't think are ET. I think that
mm,
those are, you know, are ours, and that I don't know why they're doing it, but for whatever reason they're putting them up there. I don't know if it's part of what they were considering the false flag to try to scare people, to make them think that we've got to attack them. The whole Iran has a mothership thing. What was
I-
that about?
they really are. It really truly is a play, and they are setting up the stage. They're
Yeah.
setting up the scenes. That's what we're seeing right now as part of an agenda. What
Yes.
is that agenda? Is it Project Bluebeam? Is it the fake? alien invasion. Different people, groups of people are questioning different things at this point, because it could be all of the above, or it could be one or the other, or something completely different. We don't know. Um, I believe it's a mix going on. I believe the majority of the sightings are from our government, 100%. However, when I say there's a mix, I do believe there are our guys upstairs deliberately showing themselves. And they've already said how they're going to show themselves. They're going to show themselves over the waters. Now, which takes me to what's been happening before all these drone situations. Remember, we just went through, all that with the aliens shooting out of the oceans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Again, is it government, or is it, the guys upstairs?
Right. Now, when we
Mm.
say government,
Yeah.
this is a thing to clarify. Now, some people think,
Mm.
oh, well, our government doesn't have that kind of technology. That can't be government. Like, well, yeah, guess what? It does. And then people have been
Mm.
saying this for years, that there's a black budget program that all of our governments have, and that
Mm.
they've been keeping from us for a very long time, and that they have had this technology that they, for security purposes or whatever their logic is or whatever their reason is to keep it from the public, we're just unaware of it. So just because you don't know what that it exists doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Mm.
So that's the point, that it's an ego thing. A lot of people don't want to believe that there's something that's been kept hidden from them, or they don't want to believe that their government's been lying to them, which that really puzzles me, because how can you not believe that after so many years of being
Yeah.
lied to? I mean,
Yeah.
Stockholm syndrome, or what is it? I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
you've got to wake up to that your governments are lying to you. And I don't care if you think I'm a conspiracy theorist. It's true. Like, they've
Mm.
been lying to all of us. So
Mm.
the sooner that you realize that and figure that out, the better it's going to be for you in the future, because things are going to really come to a head, I believe,
Mm.
within the next, probably the next year.
Mm.
A lot of this stuff is going to come out, and you're going to find out. So better to find out now and not be in ontological shock in about a year or less.
Exactly, because when we head into 2025, we are definitely stepping up a gear on all levels. Spiritual warfare, which I'll touch a little bit about that. Both of us can at the end if you want, but
Yeah,
yeah, more
definitely.
sightings. These nefarious groups, governments, three-letter words, whatever you want to call them. These elites. They've got some tricks up their sleeves, and they have had many tricks up their sleeves over the years and generations. And those tricks are blatantly being seen. It's just, we have to use our critical thinking? We have to use our discernment. Just because the government, or just because someone in power says something, just because they say, a certain storyline, or a certain, like, so for instance, just because they say something's safe does not mean to say it's safe. What, because they said so? Do you
Right.
know them personally? Do you have relationships with them? Have they, you know,
Well, what is their track record? Look at
exactly, their
that.
track record? The lies outweigh the truths.
Yeah.
The corruption outweighed the goods. Their lies outweigh their promises.
Yes.
I mean, how much more do people need to hear and see and experience? How many more deaths do we, how many more lives do we need to lose because of, certain things, started in 2020, with the whole pandemic, if you know what I mean? How, it is Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
People are scared to think for themselves. They're scared to not trust. They have to trust in something and someone, and then unfortunately they take this government's word for everything. I
Yeah.
mean, and it's just ridiculous. But yes, it's Stockholm syndrome. That's what it is. It's you know.
I mean, I guess they want to feel safe.
Mm.
These are people with families and young children, and they want to
Mm.
feel like they can trust their government, like they can, like everything is going to be okay. And it is, but you don't need to trust in your government for things to be okay.
Mm,
And shit's gonna hit the fan. I mean, it
mm.
is, and you're gonna be okay. But you just have to realize that it's gonna take a community of people, a collective of people coming together and helping each other out
Mm,
on very local levels in order for this to be okay. You know,
mm.
we're gonna have to, yeah, we're gonna have to fight. I'm not saying necessarily that'll come to, blows, but you just have to stand up. You're gonna have to stand up for yourselves. And
On
that's
some,
really,
yeah, on
on
some
some
level.
level, yeah,
Mm,
that's
mm.
really what it's gonna come to.
And it will look different for different people,
Right.
but on some level, we're all fighting, whether that's our egos, whether that's, consciousness, whether that's, physically for some of us.
Yes.
There's wars being fought right now, on the planet, up in the heavens, in all dimensions. And we're all
Yes.
feeling that, even if we can't understand, we can all, a majority of us can at least say wholeheartedly that something doesn't feel right, something's changed. There's something in the air, there's something big coming, there's that fear, there's so much energy, and they can't discern it, they can't translate it because they don't understand. And this is why we're kind of trying to help you understand the different energies that's at play right now. And this is
There's
why we're feeling all these mixed feelings and emotions, and it's scary. So whenever a human mind feels something they don't understand, what do? We go into fear.
It
You
feels like a
know,
threat. It feels like a threat
yeah,
to your safety. So you
it
you
is.
you
Yeah.
lock into the fear mode, and then
Mm,
that's not good, because what does fear do? It either causes you to fight or flight.
mm,
Fighting depends on what you mean by fighting. Like if
mm,
you're fighting your government, that's going to be very difficult. If you're fighting, if you're flying, if you're leaving away, you're running away, where are you going to run to?
mm.
So you've got to really not be in that fear mode. That's not going to help you. It's not going to help anyone.
Yeah, and the best advice really is, despite everything that's unfolding and everything that's going to unfold or potentially unfold, and this isn't to create fear, I'm a realist, I'm real, I'm not going to paint something in a pretty light. However, what I will say is, regardless of what's happening and what's going to happen or potentially happen, is we've got to keep rising above frequency. We've got to raise our frequency. The battle we have won, this spiritual war, is won. It's won already. It won a long time ago on the higher levels, on the higher dimensions. We're just seeing it now on this dimension. The evil, the darkness, the corruption, these groups, they're just basically running around like headless chickens right now. They know they've lost, they can't win. But, like any toxic person or group, they're not going to go without a show or a fight or without creating some kind of chaos or damage, because that's their ego. It's how they're programmed. They will
Collateral
fight.
damage. Yeah.
Collateral damage, exactly,
Right.
and that's what we're seeing unfold. And they know they've lost. They can't win this, but their ego just will not let go, and
Well,
that's
what we're
the
seeing
ego.
is a ripple effect. It's
Yeah.
really, and it goes through all of the densities and all of the
Mhm.
dimensions. So that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're a ripple in time, really.
Mhm. Mhm.
And it's going to be okay. Just
Oh yeah,
I don't.
it's going to be okay. Like I say, just keep raising your frequency, vibration, keep doing, things to improve your life and energy, and those that do that will struggle the least. It will be
Right.
the ones that don't want to admit to themselves what's really going on and playing out on the planet. It will be those ones that will suffer, unfortunately. I'm just going to be honest. They are.
Also
They're not
the
going to cope.
ones also the ones who are more service to self, who are more
Yeah.
concerned about their own safety than about the safety of the people around them and their community. And so
Mm,
that when you're service to others, you're going to have an easier time, because you're not just thinking of yourself. And
mm,
it kind of, translates over to other people. They feel that that you want to help them, and then they want to
Mm,
do the same, and it reciprocates, and then that's the ripple effect that you want to
mm,
create. So
mm. And that's it. We can call that, if you like, that's was fighting on a spiritual, energetic level. We're trying to counteract, all the negative energy, the negative ripples, waves that are coming at us. And that is what we mean when we say spiritual warfare. Energy is real. You don't have to physically fight, just our energy, our intentions, our beliefs alone, we are fighting. And we feel it within ourselves. And I think it's amazing. So we're doing amazing. We're all doing amazing. We're all doing great. And we've just got to get through the crumbling phase. We've got to get through the phase of what's happening. All the corruption, all the lies, all the evil is now coming up to the surface for us to see, so we can kind of just help dismantle it, shed light on it, and create something new and something positive in its place. And that's another thing that we're doing as well, in many ways.
right, and then and also seeing what our priorities should be, what's
Mm,
truly important.
mm,
What is our physical material things as important as lives,
mm,
as helping other people, as hearts. That's what's the most important. And
mm,
you start to see that your priorities start to change as these other things come to light, and as you start seeing the storm coming at you, and it gathers, and it gets scary, you start to reassess what's important to you and what
mm.
really matters.
Yeah, it's true. We're feeling that, aren't we? We're going through that and experiencing that. It really is. And this is how we all connect with our hearts, because nothing outside of our hearts really matters. The thing that matters is love, our hearts, our families.
Mm,
We care less about materialism and things and stuff, because it really does bring us back to heart space, to the heart center. And
right.
seeing and feeling that, is just, again, it's amazing. People are really starting to come back to themselves, on a spiritual level, rather than the ego. They're going within rather than going, outside of themselves and stuff. Going back to how we originally was, you know, heart centered, heart space.
And that being said, look at it.
Mm.
It's almost Christmas. It's only a week away, a little over a week away,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah.
and usually around Christmas time, people are very materialistic minded. They're thinking about what they're going
Mm,
to buy for each other. Can I afford this? Can I, and then all this is happening to create fear, and it always seems to happen around Christmas. These kinds of
mm,
things, right? Like
mm,
just to put people in that state of worry or fear, because a very important event is coming up. We're going to talk about that right now, I guess. The Vatican is the Catholic Church is going to be opening in Rome. Uh, Five holy doors is what they're calling it. We think they're portals. I would say they're probably portals that they're going to be opening, and
mhm.
I call them the unholy doors, because if it's the Vatican, probably not good. So
Yeah, yeah,
um,
definitely not good.
did you want to talk a little bit about what's going to be happening there, or what you think
Yeah,
it might be
well, to
happening?
be honest, this information is fairly new to me, because I had no idea that apparently this is an event that Pope Francis, or whoever, they do this apparently every 25 years, and then I hear from some people it's like every 17 years. But
Hmm.
I have put some notes down. So yeah, opening five holy doors, live streaming it apparently on
on
Christmas Eve.
on Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
so I will not be watching that,
No,
because
it's a ritual. It's
it's a
definitely a
it's a
ritual.
it's a ritual, and you don't want these
You don't
energies.
want to give them any energy.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing that they know live streaming. The reason why they're live streaming, and this is coming through intuitively, is because it's a way, because they can harvest our energy through the screen,
Yes.
through technology. Yeah.
Yes.
So this,
they're harvesting. That's what this is.
so
They're trying to harvest all this energy on this very important day. Why do you think that Christmas is on a certain
mm,
day,
mm,
right? There's something
yeah.
very significant to that.
So it gives them more power, more focus, more intention. Because when we're watching that, I'm not, but when people are watching that, they've already set their intentions are there because their intentions are to watch it. Therefore, you're giving your power away. Because they don't know what they're giving the power and energy away to. Because he's lying. He's saying holy doors. They're not holy. So I don't want to scare people. Those that are watching, but I hope that majority of you don't watch it because you don't know what's happening to your energy, what could be put on your energy, what's taking your energy.
Exactly. And
It's very
they're holes,
important.
all right. They're
Yeah,
holy doors.
yeah,
The word is hidden within the word.
yeah,
It's a hole that, and they're opening it. So
mm,
yeah, your energy will go right into that hole, and that's what they're
mhm,
trying to do. If you
yeah,
want to visualize it, just look at it like that's what they're
mm,
trying to do.
mm,
And then that hole is unholy, and it feeds their unholy entities.
yeah. So apparently, according to some little research that I had time to do, is they only ever had four portals. Apparently they started this in the year 1423.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and they originally only had four portals. So I guess over the generations, they've slowly, started with one door, holy door, portal, two, three, four, and now we're in 2025. Now is going to be the fifth portal.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
yeah, and apparently it's not all in the Vatican. These portals are in different locations in different countries, apparently.
Wow.
Uh, and I think the fifth one, if I am correct, is going to be open in the Vatican, which in itself is a portal. It is a huge
Yes.
portal already.
Yes.
So yeah, and if any of you know different, just let me know your thoughts and that. Like I say, this is all kind of new to me, but my intuition is coming into it as well. Not that I really need to use intuition because when you are aware of this already and the crimes and the things that they do, it doesn't take someone with intuition to work it out. But basically, yeah, they're opening the portals because they want lower energies, entities, demonic beings, whatever you want to call them, extraterrestrial, even whatever you want to call them. Anything low frequency, vibrational is going to come through. That's their plan anyway. Um, so yeah,
Yep.
so moving into 2025, we really do need to up our game when it comes to self-care with protecting our energy. I know I have been upping my game with that myself because if you are prone to psychic attacks, and I'm not going to keep saying, I'm not saying it to create fear, I'm saying it because I'm not going to, like, I'm real. This is what's happening, we're experiencing
Yep.
it. So if you are prone to psychic attacks, then it's good to know this information. It's not to scare you, it's to give you the tools and information and to give you a heads up of what's to come. So if you're feeling out of whack in 2025, from January, well, from whenever they open that portal, moving on, just quickly as well, apparently they're closing the portals on January the 26th. So it's
Whoa.
going to be open for a while for a lot of things to come through.
That's the
So,
day before my birthday.
oh wow, that's interesting,
That's
isn't it?
wild.
Yeah,
That's Aquarius. That's when they're going to be doing it.
yeah, yeah,
Well, they're opening it in Capricorn and they're closing it in Aquarius.
yeah,
So interesting.
yeah,
That is a long
yeah.
time to keep a portal open, or
It is.
five
Well,
portals open.
again, they're pulling the last tricks out the bag, aren't they? They
Right.
want, in order for them to be able, I just want to quickly mention before I move on, it's up to you guys what you want to believe, but Pope Francis is not human, he's a reptilian, by the way. So, and he's into not just him, but his circle, everything that's evolving around the Vatican and Pope and all these groups, and that they're all very satanic. A lot of them have entity attachments, or they are reptilians. So this whole all reptilians have gone off the planet. Clearly not. They have not, and I will argue that until I know and feel and sense that they have gone. I
Right.
still experience them. My friends still experience them. So it's BS. It's up to you. It just frustrates me because they're
Yes.
still here. If they weren't here, then why do they need to go to this level of bringing all this low frequency and vibration on the planet? They need that because without that energy, they cannot survive.
Exactly.
So I'm a little wound up about that, if I'm being honest,
I
because
feel
it's
you.
lies. They're saying it because they want us to drop our power. They want us to drop our, they just want us to believe, oh, everything's all fine. So we let our defenses down. Then that way we can get sneaky energies coming in, getting in and causing havoc, which they are still clearly doing. So I'm sorry, guys, if this pisses you off, they've not all gone. They're
Yeah.
still here.
This is
Just
very
need to say
important
that.
that we need to be aware of this. Our awareness needs to be like very, yeah, that's thank you for sharing this information, because I think
But
that's very, very important.
you know,
And
yeah, there's so many lies, even in the love and light and spiritual community. And I'm not going to give names, but there's certain people who people look up to in the spiritual community. Oh, I would love, I'm dying to say, but I'm not. But it just frustrates me. But there's certain people that are very popular, YouTube
yes,
famous, selling merch and wearing stupid tiaras and speaking down on people. I mean, if all that's not a red flag, I don't know what is. If that's not enough clues, then I don't know
we
what
know
is.
who you, we know. Okay.
That it's just
If
so
you know, you know.
frustrating. If you know, you know. And I'll probably get attacked for it. So what? They've already done it once. So, and that should be another red flag. I'm not the only one either, but I shouldn't have said, probably said too much now. But you know what? Because someone is spiritual and have a big
It's
channel
fine.
or are popular and have 20 books and selling merch and and doing all these conferences and this and that and the other, just use your discernment. Doesn't mean to say that what they are saying, everything that what they are saying is 100% true and correct. The same goes with government. Anyone in any kind of power, whether that's in the governments, whether that's because they've got YouTube channels, whether that's because they're well known, in the spiritual
Or
community and
they've
doing these
written
conferences,
books.
and they've written books, does not
Yeah.
mean to say that everything they say is 100% accurate. And I'm saying that because it's important. You need to know this. This is a time for us to use our discernment. If you're listening to someone, following someone, and if you have got a feeling inside you that's saying something about this person, that either they've changed, the narrative's changed, they contradict themselves, something's just not right about their energy, you need to listen to that.
Yes.
That is your higher self trying to tell you something.
Absolutely.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, we can move on now.
Go with your gut on that. Absolutely. And another thing I wanted to point out was that what is interesting is that during that period of time is also the inauguration of President Trump.
Yeah,
That will be on January 20th.
yeah.
And then they're closing the portal 6 days later. So
Mm,
I just say something to look for. I'm not trying to fear porn people, but I'm
mm,
just saying, look, keep your eyes open and
yeah,
probably send some good energies to protect all of us.
yeah.
There's definitely going to need. And I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you're going to go on with what you were talking about, but
Mm,
I just was curious, what are you doing? And maybe you can share that with the viewers. What are you doing to protect yourself? What's a good way to protect yourself during these
yeah.
times?
I'll do a video on that on my channel, but I can share a couple of things that I'm doing right now. So, I'm very targeted, as you know, and you've been targeted as well.
Yes.
Um, you know, the more you know, or the more you understand, the more at risk you are of being attacked. And I
And the
have.
more you talk about it too.
Yeah, yeah, and that's true. Absolutely. The more you talk about it, the more you're definitely going to get attacked. Um, so different ways. So, like I say, I've been under attack, in many different ways, and I have been for as long as I can remember, and I probably will be for a long time. Whilst I'm here, whilst these energies are still, playing out at this time. But so words are powerful. So I use words. So whenever I feel that heaviness, when I feel like I can't breathe, I feel like, there's just that energy that's trying to get in or pull you down. And sometimes for me, how I know is I get all of a sudden, intrusive, threatening thoughts, or all of a sudden I'm fine, and then I get anxiety out of the blue. Now that anxiety is telling me, Zoe, there's negative energy in your presence, and that's how your body is kind of like is picking up on that energy. So, for instance, so basically what I do is First of all, I will basically set intentions with my words, and I'll say, um, I am now activating my light shield for protection. I say that 3 times, and as I'm saying it, I visualize this bright light over me, and I lock it in and I seal it so nothing can get in. And I do that, every day, or 2, 3 times a day, as many times as I need to. And a new thing that I'm doing right now, which is actually really helping me a lot, is I say to myself, I am transmuting all fear or negative energies, entities, spirits, and beings, or just fear energy, negativity. I am transmuting that into love, into light, into positivity. And I will repeat and repeat and repeat for as long as I need to. And that calms me straight down whenever I get that heaviness, when I feel like I'm under attack, or if I get anxiety, and it makes those intrusive thoughts, which are, yes, can be the ego, but if you are a targeted individual, 9 times out of 10, that is through manipulation. I'm not going to get into the different types of manipulation, but it's just energies outside of me that are projecting fear or low vibrational words into me to make me think that it's my own words, or whether I believe it's my own or them, it doesn't really matter. That instantly pulls my frequency um, down, and I get in fear energy, and then I feel like I can't control my mind. So I will repeat, I am transmuting. I am transmuting fear. I am transmuting negativity into love, into light, into positivity. And it's not just words, our words has its own meaning, it has its own job, it has its own frequency and vibration. So when we are careful and we use certain words, transmuting is a powerful energy. We know what
Yeah.
transmuting means, and that's exactly what is happening when I'm saying it. Is energetically, sometimes I can visually see it. My energy is not only protected, but anything that is bouncing and trying to get onto my energy, it grasps it, holds it, transmutes it, turns it into love and positivity and light. And then I'm pushing that back out then. And
Mm.
that's what we do. Naturally, we do that anyway as light workers. That's a part of our
It's like
mission
a
down
it's like a
here, clearing up.
filter.
We're filtering, exactly. We're
Yeah.
filtering, cleaning, transmuting, turning all this sludge, negativity into positivity, which is then not only helping us, it's also helping everything and everyone around us. And that's what one of the things we do.
Yeah. I would say that's brilliant, and I love that, and I think that's something that everybody should do, and because that's something very easy to, you can visualize it. You
Mm.
don't have to do anything physical. You don't have to, you could just be sitting there doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's
It's just
just
intention.
it's the most simple way to do it. There are other ways of doing things that which require more other things that you have to
Mm.
do, but like listening to certain music, sound
Mm.
frequencies, can definitely you can use those to protect you as well. Um, you can also, like, and I'll say, they're out there. You can look them up, the 432, 528 frequencies. They're just look up healing frequencies, and you'll, protection frequencies.
Mm.
Uh, they're out there. Um, Also drawing or writing, anything, because when you write certain words, that's also spelling,
Mm.
and those are spells of protection. When you draw things that are spells of you're protecting yourself, writing words out that are about love and protection, and things like that. They're very simple things to do, but yeah, also, like you've mentioned before, just laughter. uh,
Mm.
Watching things that make you laugh, being around things that make you smile and laugh, even just
Mm.
being around your pets, because
Yeah.
they can make you laugh. Something is and this is why I find it funny, and sounds really simple, but or silly, but people that love to watch, cat videos or pet videos, you're raising your frequency by doing that, because it's
Mm-hmm.
really, so it's so beautiful to watch how they behave, and how silly they are sometimes, and how cute and adorable they are, and it just brings out that love frequency. in you, and it makes that vibrate and go everywhere. And it really brings you back into a really heart-centered frequency.
Yeah,
So that's another, I know it sounds silly, but why do you think people during these crazy times are watching so many pet videos?
yeah, yeah.
It's just like an intuitive
Exactly.
thing to do.
Yeah, it is. It is. We do so much anyway, intuitively, though we're not even aware of what we're doing or really
Yeah.
why we're doing these things. It's just like, we just do it. It's like our body knows, our bodies, our minds, our higher selves, are just, well, it knows what it's doing. It's just our ego just has a hard time understanding or trusting the process, or, and we feel that within us. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's some of the things that I do. I mean, I will do a video on my channel, showing all the techniques and stuff. But, when I was heavily attacked not too long ago, I was doing my normal things. And this isn't to scare you, but, this was the severity of the attack.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
using things that they were not touching anything. They were not doing anything.
They weren't the normal things that you would normally do. Right.
Yeah, and I remember I was so desperate at this particular point, and I said to the guys upstairs, I said to my higher self, like, you need to help me out. I need help. I'm using all the tools. I'm using all that I know, and I just cannot shift this frequency, this energy. And then all of a sudden in my mind, clear as day, which I believe was my higher self, repeated the words. What I repeated to you guys was I am, and always use I am, because that really does, put it into place. I am transmuting fear and negativity into love and light positivity. There's no correct way of saying it say it in whatever order you want. It's just as long as you set those intentions. And I was just like, wow, how come I didn't think of that before? A little joke to my higher self. And then it was like, you have type thing. I was like, oh, because we were the same. But yeah, so she kind of helped me out there, and it's a powerful, powerful tool. It really is, and it really has helped me so much. And so yeah, try it for yourself, guys. If you start feeling like energies are shifting around you and you're not feeling good, just do it. It's just amazing. Take back your power. And
Yes.
and you say, I do not allow any negative energies, entities, spirits, or beings to manipulate me or affect my mind, my energy, my space, or my aura. Just really lay down the law and tell them. You have to tell them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you don't highlight them or the energies, then that's how they get away with free will. Because you're not conscious, you're not aware what's going on, and they can flip in, and it can start off subtly, with the mind. When we sit there and we have a habit of sitting in and grasping onto those negative thoughts, isn't it? And we start giving that negative word or that thought or idea more energy, and then all of a sudden we start getting all these symptoms: depression, anxiety, fear. It could look like anything. And we have to nip it in the bud. And 9 times out of 10, it's not because of our own thoughts, it's because of manipulation. But the
Yeah.
moment we recognize, we can highlight these energies, and we tell them to basically do one, and they have to.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So what do you think, to going back to the beginning, so with the drones and obviously all these UFO sightings and stuff, I understand that, and information that I've come across as well, that the positive ones, so the guys upstairs, they they wouldn't, from what I've like I say, what I've seen is, which makes sense, is like they want disclosure to happen. Disclosure is happening, but they don't want to just. I mean, they've been coming in, haven't they? Showing themselves
They can't
like,
come in without being attacked by us, by humans.
well,
That's
they
the
can't.
problem.
Well, what I was trying to say is they don't want to just come in all of a sudden in mass groups and startle humans. It has to be slowly and gradual. And at the minute, with these sightings, these sightings from these groups, from these reverse engineered ships, human made, you know, and drones,
Mm,
and because it's not just drones, it's ships as well. You know, it's all over the planet as it seems right now, all at once. Now they wouldn't do that upstairs because that's too much. It's got to be slow, and that's another telltale sign that it's definitely, you know, our government's just, you know, again they want to
right.
create that fear, um, which again is adding more energy towards, you know, the Christmas Eve and stuff. They're just collecting as much energy and fear as they can, so on the
Right.
day they can have a lot of power to open this portal. That's basically what they're doing.
Yeah, that's brilliant. See, you have to look at all of the, you have to look at everything around it. Like,
Mm,
look at the timing. Look at why would this be happening right now?
mm,
You
mm,
know, right when they're about to open these doors. Like, it makes sense. And then why would they wait till right now? Like, if
mm.
they've had the ability to do this for a very long time, why would they do it right around this very precarious time?
Yeah, yeah,
Right. So I just find it to be a little sus.
yeah.
And I'm not saying that there aren't ETs out there that are trying to show themselves to us, and there are
Mm.
some out there. The orbs that I think that I'm seeing that are flying around the drones
I
are,
believe they are. Yeah,
they're observing and also making sure that they're not doing anything
yeah,
destructive.
yeah.
So they're like actually protecting us.
Mm-hmm.
That's what, when you see those orbs that look like they don't look like the drones, and
Mm.
they're around the drones, because I have a picture. I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit it in. I want to try to do that, but I don't know what I'm doing yet with StreamYard, but I'm going to try. I have it was a video that I took a picture of it, where it shows these two drones, or this one drone and these two orbs flying around it, right behind it, like kind of following it to make sure that it doesn't do whatever it's going to do. I've also seen pictures of a drone that was spraying something into the air at night. You never see
Mm.
them chemtrailing at night.
Yeah.
So this was kind of odd, like what's going on here? And people were seeing it and filming it and going, what is that? What is that? You know,
Mm.
so it's some odd things are happening that seem a bit nefarious. I don't
Mm.
know. I don't think that that's normal.
Yeah, and
It's
this is
not something
why.
that an ET would do.
No, and this is why we go through periods of quietness, or, you know, not necessarily completely quiet, but we go through periods where, you know, the energies are stable, everyone's living life, they've forgotten about, you know, all these events that's happened, and we have like quiet periods, don't we? It's like we have that breather, and then all of a sudden it starts picking up, and then it's this event, and then oh, it's aliens, and then it's this,
Right.
and it's that, and it's all in clusters, and it's
Yeah.
always centered around key dates, and you know, celestial dates, and things like that. You know, again was mentioned. You know, um, the December 24th is naturally a very powerful portal day. That's why it's that they chose that day for Christmas. It's got nothing to do with the birth of Jesus. There's
And
nothing, you know, it's all designed on purposely like that, you know. So
when you look at the drones and when they came, it was right around the portal of 1212.
yes, yeah, again, it's
So,
all
and then there
because
was
they
something that
utilize.
happened around 1111. So look at the dates of when these are happening and you'll
Exactly, because
see
obviously these
it's
natural
not a
events.
coincidence. Yeah.
No, exactly, because these natural portal events are allowing in huge influxes of powerful positive energy that is obviously, you know, amazing for humanity. It's obviously helping us. We need those energies. So this is why, you know, they basically pick those days to create fear, to prevent us from, you know, receiving less of those energies. Well,
It's part of their ritual magic.
yeah, yeah.
So
But
that's
as
what
well as they're doing that, they utilize that energy for themselves, and then
yeah,
use that
they
as
harness it. Yeah,
harness it exactly to do whatever it is they want to do. So, which is all
right.
sorts of things at the minute. So, yeah,
Yeah, things that
yeah,
we can't see with the, but you know, we have remote viewers. So we're beginning to find things out. We're beginning to see things, and we have we all have our own gifts, and that's the thing. When you start to come into your gifts and see what you have, what you can do, you're gonna find out that you have the ability to really know these things,
Mm.
and trust that gut instinct that you have about it, and don't be afraid of it. You know
Yeah.
that we've been programmed to be afraid of these things. Don't be afraid of your gifts. It's powerful.
Mm. It is, it really is. Even if you don't understand them, these gifts or these feelings,
You
just
will. You
you
will.
will.
Yeah.
In time you will. Exactly. And yeah, I think I'm just trying to make sure that I haven't missed anything else. But yeah, that's basically what the plan is for Pope on the 24th, really. We've gone into that, haven't we, in quite a lot of detail, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
and with the ships, I think they are trying. It's still in the bag. They are trying it. They are attempting a fake alien invasion or a blue beam, Project Blue Beam type event,
Yeah.
but it's going to flop. And I just want to say as well that, I believe there could potentially be, again, this isn't to create fear, but there could be a catastrophic disclosure of extraterrestrials coming from. I just want to quickly go back before I move forward. So, obviously, these people, these news readers, those that are in charge of the media right now, they are slowly being taken over by the white hats.
Hmm.
So, I believe, there could be a potential timeline where there could be a catastrophic disclosure. I don't mean catastrophic in the sense of like, War of the Worlds type things, and then we find out, everything on that day. I don't mean like that, but I mean in the
Zombie
sense,
apocalypse. Yeah.
yeah, nothing like that. I mean, it's quite a scary word, isn't it? Catastrophic. But, what I mean is in the sense of because of these tricks, these elites, the governments that are pulling, the tricks that they're pulling out the bag right now, attempting to do fake alien invasions and all that, we've got the good guys, the good teams, the white hats, whatever you want to call them, they won't allow it. So then, it could come to the point where, they go too far, meaning these elites with their agenda, and it could go to the point where, okay, now we have to make a move, the guys upstairs, like we really do need to up it up, and we need to let people know that no, we're not that that it's not true. There's not extraterrestrials here that are wanting to take over and take humans out. We're actually here to help you guys. We've been here for a long time. And I believe what they're going to do then is they're going to start drip feeding that at the beginning through the news and the media about, all those extraterrestrials here wanting to help humanity. It might sound a bit funny and comical at first, but that's kind of
Yeah.
how they do it. And then we're going to start hearing some good, positive stuff regarding, extraterrestrials, that they are real, they're here, they've always been here, and even to the point where they might say they're actually walking amongst humans, looking like humans. That's what I mean. That's what I believe. If things go too far, that's kind of like the plan. The guys upstairs, completely just like I say, they are taking over the good side down here. They are slowly taking over the media, and they will do it through the media to the point where, because unfortunately, humans are like, well, no matter you try and wake them up, you say these
Yeah.
things, and they'll say, well, it's not on the news, therefore it's not real. Well, it's going to
Yeah.
be on the news, so therefore, what are you going
It's
to say
starting to
then?
be on the news. I
Like,
mean,
what
look
are you
at
going to say now? They've just said, we've got good ETs down here. What? They'll probably
yeah.
make up with excuses or something.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
they're slowly taking they've already started with social media. So if you're
yeah.
watching social media, which obviously you are if you're watching this, but like YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X. So all of those platforms, you're already seeing that people are talking about this.
Mhm.
And so there's
Yeah.
already disclosure on all of those platforms. And some of it gets taken down, but not before people actually get to download it or screen record it or do whatever they're doing to
Mhm.
preserve these things. So we're doing it, and we're taking over. So it's starting already with the social media, but you're right, you're absolutely correct. It's going to eventually have to bleed over
Mhm.
into the mass media, because they're not going to be able to compete with social media. People are already not watching the news anymore. A lot of
Mhm.
people have turned that shit off. um,
Mhm.
there's really only, like, I feel like only one generation of people left that are really watching, TV, sitting there watching their TVs. So, it's it's gonna gradually become like mainstream everywhere. We're
Yeah,
gonna know
it
what
has to be.
it's gonna
Yeah.
transfer over. You're absolutely
Mm,
right. And so everybody's gonna know, and it's just it's time. It's time to know these things already. It's been too
yeah.
long. Enough
Mm,
people already are aware of it. So it's already the hundredth monkey effect. That's what I'm seeing.
mm, yeah. Exactly. We're so behind, so behind. I mean, yeah, this is just
It's time to catch up.
it is time to catch up. It really is, and it's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people. Um, Even for those that are aware of who have been aware of this for a long time, but the uncomfortableness for them, you know, for a small portion of them, is actually it's one thing knowing the information, knowing the truth. It's now living that truth, being in that new environment, that new energy, going from, you know, this matrix 3D realm way of things to all of a sudden, like almost it'll feel like overnight, you know, stepping into the future with technology, hearing about extraterrestrials, seeing them, you know, it's still like if this was left naturally, we would have known about this 50 years ago or
Well,
more or less. I
I
don't
think
know.
the hardest thing for people that is going to be the really the realization that they look just like us.
Mm,
That a
mm,
lot of them do. Not all of them, but a lot of them look just like us. And
yeah,
so that to know that they've been your neighbors and that they've been around you this entire time and they just couldn't tell you,
and
because whatever.
in your families, you know, they're everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
it's gonna be a little bit of a shock, and people are gonna have to get over it. It's just that's all there is to it. You
yeah.
know. Oh, we'll be able to integrate. It will happen. It's just gonna be probably a lot less gradual than what we were expecting,
It's going
because
to be a
it's
little
gonna
bit
have to be.
bumpy. Yeah, it might be a bumpy ride, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. We'll handle it though. We'll be okay.
we will
Yep.
definitely. Yeah,
We can deal with it.
we can absolutely. So, is there anything else you want to? Is there anything we've missed, or you think?
No, no. When I said clones and drones, I was also bringing up the clones, and I didn't mean to make a big deal about it, but I was just going to say that yes, they do exist. Just so you know, it's going to be something that also comes out,
Mm,
that there are clones, and and that a lot of the celebrities and the people that you've been worshiping all this time are not real, that they're actual clones, and that they have that the real ones actually may still be alive somewhere, but maybe not. And that you've been worshiping these clones for a very long time,
yeah.
and you'll find out. And it's something that's going to come out. I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's already
Mm,
out there. If you're and people are thinking it's a conspiracy theory, or
mm,
it's all conspiratorial, but it's real. And
yeah.
it's just another thing that people say, oh, it's just a distraction from.
Yeah.
How many distractions, really? I mean, you're going to find out all this stuff that you thought were just distractions are actually real, and it's not a distraction. It's like saying the ABCs are a distraction.
Mm,
It's something you've got to learn. It's something you're going to know, and it's not. It just is.
yeah.
And the more that you adapt to all of these new things, the faster that you adapt to it, the easier it's going to be for you. But if it takes you longer, it does, and that it's fine. And I'm
Yeah.
not judging, and nobody should judge people that can't, you know, grasp things as quickly as others. Everybody in their own time will come around to understanding these things. And yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it. There's no pressure. There's no race. We're all gonna get to the same place, and we'll get there in our own time, isn't it? And along the way, on that in that process, we just have to help and support, pick those up that fall, and guide them, and just kind of help them understand, and just guide them through the process, really, together as a collective. And that's what I'm seeing. And we are really are coming together, and you know, it's great now because we're getting less poking in others' faces, and you know, mocking people, and, oh, you know, put your tinfoil hat on and stuff, you know, all that nonsense. But you know, it's we're all going to be, you know, at the same place at the same point, and
There,
yeah,
there are proud tinfoil hat wearers now. You know,
yeah,
I mean, there are podcasts named Tinfoil Hat. You know,
yeah,
so what? You know, we don't care anymore. Call us whatever
yeah,
you want to call us, whatever. You know, we're the ones
exactly,
who knew first. That's all.
yeah,
That's all.
exactly, yeah, that's it.
Doesn't make us smarter than you. It just makes us more open-minded. That's all.
Yeah, exactly, that's it. There really is there's no ego.
No,
No, not at all. No, it's just
it's not about that.
no. There's a bigger picture. There's a bigger plan, and you know, little words, little things like that. It really is. It's nothing, is it? So you know,
Yes. Well, I just want to say thank you again for coming on, Zoe. It's been great as usual.
yeah, I love
Zoe
it when we
is
get together.
Zoe's my bestie over the pond. We talk together
Yeah,
almost every single day,
we do. We really
and
do.
it's I don't get to see her like this all the time. It's nice,
Yeah.
and I hope someday we get to meet in person. That would be awesome. Um,
Oh, if I can get over the fear of I've been on a plane, yeah, but which is crazy. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah. I don't know. Well, yeah, we're going to see each other, whether it's down here or elsewhere, or you know, we're definitely
well,
going to see one
we
another.
we see each other all the time. Like we just
The
don't see each
astral
other in
realm.
3D. Yeah.
Yeah, we're always meeting up in the astral realms, and not just me and Linda. There's been like three of us, and you know, it's we remember, you know,
Yeah.
to some
And other
degree.
lifetimes that we've, yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
other
exactly.
existences that we've had. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
awesome.
fun. It
We
really is.
That's why we're so comfortable with each other,
Mm.
because it's like we've known each other forever,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah,
So
we're part of the same cell
tribe,
tribe, family,
yeah,
whatever, you know, and it's like, you know, even when we met here, you know, it was like we just it's like reuniting with a lost friend or a friend and we
yeah,
haven't seen for a while. And we picked up where we left off. It was
yeah.
that easy, that simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It really feels like we've known each other forever,
Mm.
and just the comfort that we have with each other, and
Yeah.
and the synchronicities that we've had, like
Oh my
almost
God.
all the time. Like we're always feeling the same way about things
And
at the same
telepathy.
time,
Yeah,
going
we have
through similar
telepathy.
things at the same time, and we're not
Mhm.
anywhere near each other. So that quantum entanglement stuff is real.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it really
So
is. It
yeah,
really is.
but
Powerful. Mm.
again, it's been great having you on Potentials again, and again, check out her podcast, her channel. It's not really a podcast; it's a lot of different things, but it's called Galactic Voyager, and it's on YouTube. And she's also on Instagram and TikTok
Yeah.
and Facebook. So yeah, check her out. And
Mm.
she's got a lot of interesting things. She talks about her experiences that she's had with SSP, you know, the secret space program, and and being taken. And she's got a lot of other guests on that are also talking about those kinds of things, and also talking about experiences with ETs, positive and negative, and it's real. So if you really want to understand it, that this her channel is great for that. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So again, everyone, thank you for watching. And if you like this content, please like and subscribe. And feel free to leave a comment underneath and tell us what you think. And we'll see you again next time. Ciao for now.